Hey guys, what's going on? It's Don back here again with one more review for you. Um, More to come after that too. Quite a bit more. Lots of stuff. Subscribe. I got tons of stuff coming. Mini Moa review coming up next. After that, I think I'll have a little EPO Corsair. After that, theoretically, I should be getting the first-person view plane, the ultra strong first-person view plane. I've got a 5.8 gigahertz Fat Shark system coming in for FPV guys. I'm going to try to hook those together and do a nice review for you. What else? Man, ton of stuff. Decathlon, Park Jet, a few others. But expect more. I'm keeping myself busy. Full-time job and this, which is a full-time job. But either way, back to the plane at hand. HobbyKing Galaxy. This is an F3P classified indoor flyer. F3P is primarily planes under, well, not primarily, it is solely planes under 200 grams ready to fly weight. This thing with my battery and none of the extra, trimmings cut off like the servo leads and the leads for the battery. Mine actually weighed in at 184 grams, and you could probably take 10 grams easy off that if you were to get real anal on the build there. But this thing, I've always been a huge fan of profiles. Some of my favorite planes were profiles. One of my best park flyers, the little Hyperion profile. That thing was amazing. It taught me so much. But this plane just blew me away. It is so much fun to fly, and I'm a horrible 3D pilot. I mean, I can do the basic maneuvers, but I have no precision. I mean, my thumbs have a horrible case of epilepsy or something because I can't control my planes with precision. This plane, hovering, knife edges, all those things, made super easy. I mean, it kind of just wants to sit on its prop by itself. I can imagine putting some lightweight gyros on here. You could just walk around with it on its prop. But, it's just so responsive, so light, and so flicky. It's just so much fun to whip around and fly, and I really like it because it flies so slow with those air brakes and the big prop that you can just throw it out in front of your house at the street. I mean, you have such good control of it. You can whip it around in even a tiny little location, a little parking lot. You don't have to go out to the field and enjoy your flying. You can just do it out in front of your house or really anywhere. I mean, this schoolyard is 10 times the size of what it really needs. But flying characteristics are really good. Knife edges take almost no rudder authority. I mean, the thing holds a knife edge almost as well as it flies perfectly straight. You have, like I said, the speed brakes slow it way down. You can harrier and hover this thing like no other. It's definitely built to an ultralight classification. You can tell the foam is very thin. It's standard high quality, real thin flexible foam, but there's a ton of carbon that comes with the kit. Little carbon rods, some flat bladed carbon, and the build is fairly intricate. It took me probably 4 or 5 hours to make the build. So for a beginner plane, I definitely wouldn't recommend it, especially if you've never done any builds before. You don't have to have a full ground up, balsa kit under your belt, but at least a little bit of experience working with CA glue and some of the hinges and stuff like that. It's all tape on hinges. Oh, that was an excellent thing to note. Tape on hinges. You need to have hinge tape. It does not come with it. So go out and pick up some hinge specific tape. In a pinch, you can use packaging tape, but replace that the second you can. My pictures in the beginning actually had packaging tape on it because I ran out of hinge tape, but it'll work sort of, but then it'll fall off and you could destroy your plane pretty easily. So specific hinge tape is really going to stick a lot better. Aside from that, getting into what it comes with, it is just the bare foam, the carbon, and the wheels. Also a full set of instructions that was very detailed. I mean, I was really surprised at how detailed and how well put out the instructions were. Good English too, surprisingly. No English. But this plane built up pretty well, and the setup that I was running was 3 5-gram. I was specifically running HXT 500s, so it's a 5-gram Hexatronic servo. It does not have individual servos for the ailerons. It's a single servo controlling it, so if you were to put any 9-gram servos in, make sure it's only that one, just so you don't weigh it down too much, but I think a 5-gram is more than enough for this lightweight plane. It does come with the motor, which actually looked to be extremely high quality. Motor, prop, prop saver all came with it, and that basically just bolts onto a looked like a little PVC plastic, kind of a lightweight plastic motor mount that you glue on. But you know, basically just set it up with a 12 amp speed control. If you're going for the ultralight, cut your servo leads and cut your battery leads down to minimum length, and you know, put those 5 grams in, glue everything down, and make sure you're using CA foam safe CA glue, and 500 milliamp 25. I'd recommend a 25C discharge if you can get them. 20 would probably work, but the batteries get a little bit warm just due to the amount of hovering this plane wants to do. That's a pretty good draw. I'd say a 25 is more recommended. The 20s I had worked just fine, but I think you could probably make your batteries last a little bit longer if you had a 25 or even a 30. Snag those nanotechs if you can. There's like a 460 nanotech that exists, and that would be perfect for this plane. But for your maiden, I would recommend putting a tiny bit of weight on the nose. I put probably 1/4 ounce of weight on the nose for my first couple flights, and it stabilized it a little bit, but hovering was obviously a little bit of a sacrifice. It didn't want to hover quite as well because of the forward CG, but start at the recommended CG in the instructions, and then bring it back and back and back as you get comfortable with the plane, because for 3D maneuvers, tail heavy is generally recommended. You just have to be real careful, especially in wind, because you'll just get blown all over the place. But eventually, with that 500 milliamp battery, I just went with absolutely no weights, no counterweights at all. So I was pretty happy with the setup. You know, I was a little worried about CG, but the CG they give you in the instruction manual is actually it's very beginner friendly. Like, this plane can fly significantly further back CG than what's recommended. So either way, nose heavy is just always easier to fly the plane. But you can see I'm doing a little bit of wind flying here. This is probably 4 miles an hour, 4 or 5 miles an hour, and then my battery cut out right here, and I was flying on maybe 10% throttle, and you know, full control, but nice little landing. And that's pretty much it. I think I'll do a build video on this, but I'd say 5 out of 5. This is an awesome plane. Just intermediate to advanced. It's not the easiest plane to fly. For 3D it is, but make sure you got your stuff down first, and you know, build it up. Alright guys, have a great day. Bye.